Today on Rappler.
We have commitments from the United States to help us enhance our defense and monitoring capabilities. No?
The Philippines asks the U.S. to send spy planes to disputed areas in the South China Sea. La Mesa Dam nears critical spilling level.
Typically, the AFP films are expected to have gun battles, blood, war, death, and we decided to take an alternate route from that, and we decided to paint a much milder picture of AFP, the armed forces with a heart.
And soldier filmmakers trade guns for cameras. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. President Benigno Aquino III says the Philippines may ask the United States to send P-3C Orion spy planes to help monitor disputed areas in the South China Sea. Communications Secretary Ricky Carandang explains the flyby over Scarborough Shoal will have no military component. Carandang claims it is not meant to be provocative. There's no offensive capability here. The U.S. Navy describes the P-3C Orion as its, quote, frontline land-based maritime patrol aircraft since the early 1960s. Its primary functions include anti-submarine warfare and anti-surface warfare. Carandang claims the Philippines is, quote, bending over in order to try to de-escalate the situation.
We have commitments from the United States to help us enhance our defense and monitoring capabilities. No? So I don't think simple flyovers, if they happen, would necessarily require any sort of special arrangement. There are civilian applications for taking photos, aerial photos. I'm sure you're all aware of Google Earth. Nobody thinks that if Google Earth flies over Luzon or Scarborough that that's going to be a provocation. They're basically doing the same thing. So there's no military component to this. We really just, if ever, we're just taking shots.
China has consistently warned against U.S. involvement in South China Sea issues. Reacting to Aquino's statement about the U.S. spy planes, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Liu Weimin says the Philippines should instead promote regional peace and stability. The Supreme Court orders the Judicial and Bar Council, or JBC, the body that vets nominees for the post of Chief Justice and hands it to the President, to comment on a petition questioning its composition. Former Solicitor General Frank Chavez asks the High Court to declare invalid the current 8-member composition of the JBC, saying the 1987 Constitution specifies there should only be 7 members with only 1 representative from Congress. The JBC currently has 2 members from Congress, Iloilo Representative Niel Tupas and Senator Francis Escudero. The body now only has 6 members after Acting Chief Justice Antonio Carpio and Justice Secretary Leila de Lima inhibited from the deliberations because both accepted their nominations for the post. The Social Weather Stations, or SWS, says Filipinos who say they experience hunger dropped from a record high earlier this year from 23.8% last March to 18%. Moderate hunger, or those who experienced it only once or a few times, is down from 18% to 13.7%. Severe hunger, or those who experience hunger often or always, dropped from 5.8% in March to 4.8% in June. Despite the drop in overall and moderate hunger incidence in Luzon and Metro Manila, it rose in the Visayas and Mindanao. Well, let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 5, British drug maker GlaxoSmithKline will pay $3 billion in fines for criminal and civil violations involving 10 drugs taken by millions of people. The company will plead guilty to promoting popular antidepressants Paxil and Wellbutrin for unapproved uses. It also admits failing to report safety problems with diabetes drug Avandia for 7 years. The drug was found to sharply increase the risks of heart attacks and congestive heart failure. U.S. officials say this is the largest healthcare fraud settlement in American history. At number 6, CNN anchor Anderson Cooper categorically admits he is gay. He says, quote, "Always have been, always will be, and I couldn't be any more happy, comfortable with myself, and proud." Cooper says even though he wanted to keep his personal life private, he decided that, quote, "Visibility is important, more important than preserving my reporter's shield." At number 7, after 40 years of arduous search, scientists will announce Wednesday they have a footprint and a shadow of the God particle. The question posed in the 1960s, how were subatomic particles such as electrons, protons, and neutrons formed? What gives them their mass? The answer? The Higgs boson, a key particle which interacts in an energy field, giving these subatomic particles mass. They're the building blocks of subatomic particles. Laymen call it the God particle. Scientists stop short of saying they discovered the Higgs boson because they still haven't been able to isolate it. And at number 8, Twitter released its first ever transparency report giving a breakdown of countries which requested user data and content removal. It specified how many requests it received, what percentage it complied with, numbers of user accounts affected from the first 6 months of 2012. It also said it received more government requests during the first half of this year than it did in all of 2011. Twitter said it removed 5,000 tweets because of copyright complaints. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Well, world's number 1 Maria Sharapova suffers a shock exit from Wimbledon as Germany's Sabine Lisicki takes revenge for last year's semifinal defeat with a 6-4, 6-3 fourth-round victory. Sharapova, who won the French Open earlier this month and has been a finalist in 3 of the last 4 Grand Slams, was completely outplayed by the 15th seed. Lisicki will play for a place in the last 4. The La Mesa Dam is on red alert as continuous rains push the dam's water level nearer to its spilling point. Water in the dam rises to 79.62 meters, just falling short of the 80.15 meter spilling level. Residents near the dam are advised to evacuate. State Weather Bureau Pagasa expects rains to continue over the next 4 hours with a threat of landslides and floods. In its 5 p.m. update, Pagasa says Luzon will experience cloudy skies with widespread rains. The rest of the country will have mostly cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council reports 2 people killed and 2 others injured after a brick wall collapsed because of the rain. The Metro Manila Development Authority is deploying teams to help if flooding occurs. 19 soldier filmmakers take up cameras to bring an armed forces of the Philippines with a heart to the public. Carlos Santamaria reports.
The pen is mightier than the sword, and the camera is fiercer than the gun. Members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines complete a workshop in basic filmmaking in a new attempt to bring the military closer to the general public.
This filmmaking workshop that we attended is a good opportunity for us not only to express what we've seen and what we've felt in the field, but to be able to share it with the rest of the Filipino people.
4 of the officers each direct a short movie featuring a different aspect of the life of the soldier, as a son, a parent, a friend, and a doctor.
Typically, the AFP films are expected to have gun battles, blood, war, death, and we decided to take an alternate route from that, and we decided to paint a much milder picture of the AFP, the Armed Forces with a Heart.
Although they were trained to fight and not make movies, the soldiers-turned-directors believe this is just another part of their constitutional mandate to defend the nation.
The AFP is discovering other areas, not only for combat, but we are also discovering the non-traditional role so that we can be more closer to the people.
The movies, told from a soldier's point of view, connect more with the audience.
This is the humanization of the armed forces. Bali, pinapakita namin sa kapwa namin Pilipino na kami tao lang din na tulad nila na dumaan din sa iba't ibang pagkakataon o buhay para makita nila yung buhay namin din. Bilang sundalo, bilang kapwa Pilipino.
Some may call it propaganda, others call it a key element in the new communication strategy of the AFP. Carlos Santamaria, Rappler, Manila.
Every story on Rappler has a mood meter which displays 8 moods. We ask you to click how you feel, and all your clicks are aggregated on the back end. The Mood Navigator displays the 10 stories which get the most votes, and on top here it tells you which mood was clicked on the most. Today, most people are inspired. If you take a look at the stories, we see one story, Anderson Cooper's story, 50% inspired. The story that got the most clicks, though, is, interestingly enough, an economic story, a business story. Philippines, a breakout nation, looking at the economic prospects of the Philippines, 33% happy, 58% inspired. Again, an interesting day. Today, most people are inspired. Well, that's Rappler's newscast for today, Tuesday, July 3, 2012. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.